team behind First Line Paranormal. This is Beyond the Veil. Real investigations, real encounters, explore the unknown.
Howdy, everybody.
What's up?
What's happening?
Hi.
Which episode are we on now?
4.
Woo!
Number 4. Deuces and deuces and deuces.
Love it.
4 deuces.
Well, we have
I don't know her.
me, of course, Cody. Roxanne and Danny's here. And we also have Taryn.
Yay!
She's
I
like,
can make it.
it's my time to be on the podcast. Let me be on.
I'm here now.
So Morgan is not here currently. She may run late. She may get in here later. Who knows? But this is who we have right now. And our special guest tonight is Daryl. He is from the UK. So he is across the pond. So it's going to be really interesting to talk with him and kind of see, how views different, or if they have, if they have locations that we haven't heard about, what kind of experiences he's had at different places. So we're going to dive deep into that. He has been in the paranormal world for at least 8 years, and I actually used to talk to this guy years ago when I was, delving into different communities. So, without further ado, let's bring up Mr. Daryl.
Welcome.
What's happening? Kind of jealous.
We're gonna find out some more about you. All right. I'm just doing some back end things here.
So how did y'all meet, Cody?
Gosh, Daryl, was it Parapost or was it after Parapost? Because I know we really got in touch when all those communities come together, like with Drew and all them.
Yeah, so I know it was 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, it was with Drew and that community and stuff. But yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. That seems a long way away.
It does. It feels like forever, man.
It does.
It's crazy.
Been too long.
So I do want to dive in a little bit because it's a personal question of mine to you, but have you like rebranded your stuff? Like, did you have something before this new channel and you kind of just scrapped it and went to this new one that you have now?
So I've rebranded quite a lot. So when I first spoke to you, I would have been Lost Souls UK.
That's what it was.
And then I forgot, it was some accounts, and then it's D.P.I, obviously short for Daryl Paranormal Investigator. And the reason why is because it just makes sense for me to be me as myself and not actual like name. Because and I found it that, I'd be like Lost Souls UK or another name, but then it would be like down the line, it would be like, it's not really me. So I've come to D.P.I, Daryl Paranormal Investigator, and it makes sense for me to just be that.
Okay, so you're kind of going in at like a solo standpoint. I know you have some people that come with you, but you want to kind of show what you find, what you think when it comes to the paranormal.
Yeah, I've always been solo. But like I just said, it's with the name, it makes it me rather than a cover. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've always been solo. but just now it just makes sense for me to be D.P.I, Daryl Paranormal Investigator. You know, so people know me 100% for me being me.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, man. It's good to hear from you. Good to see you're doing well. And don't worry. I remember all the times we did Cryptic Trading Post and all the other podcasts we were on together. So that always good fun. So we're gonna continue with that vibe. If you could tell us, especially me now that maybe you've done some newer stuff, but tell us about yourself. Tell us, our viewers more about you, because right now you're just this mysterious man, right?
Well, obviously, the majority of people in the paranormal world that do know me, obviously, started out just. I don't know. To be fair, I don't know if everyone used to know me from when I would know you. But obviously, for the people that don't know me, I've always seen spirits, always, been interested. It's fascinated me, but obviously in 2017, when I fully started documenting it, it was the more fact of being more personal and upfront with the dead, because at the end of the day, the dead are the lost souls, and the bodies are just the suits they used to wear. So they're still a living, like, thing as such, but without a body in on a different realm.
That's exactly what I think. Yeah. This is just
Yeah.
our suit. Our energy's still there.
Yeah, it's weird. I know some people are like, what? But it is weird. Us, what you see now is a suit. The soul goes on and on and on. It makes sense, doesn't it?
Mhm. I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome. Well,
So
we
do
got a
you-
whole line of or list of questions we got. So if there's some pauses here and there, don't worry about it. It's just we're trying to take turns asking questions and stuff. So
Do you use a lot of equipment, or is there a favorite piece of equipment that you use?
I only use myself, a camera, maybe a mic and a light. That's all I really use. I have, and I do use apps such as like the Alice Box on the phone. I have used the Necrophonic app. It has come to be, useful, but then other times it hasn't. But I have used like REM pods and stuff, but that's only with other people. But for me, on my own, I really just use myself, the camera, the mic, and maybe one or two apps if I use them. I find that it's good to just have me connect with the spirits, and I find that it works better because throwing all these equipment and different stuff at spirits, it could put people off. You know what I mean? And people need to understand that the dead are exactly the same as the living, but just passed over.
Yeah. I found the more I investigate that the equipment, although it's good to document, they get tired of everyone asking over and over, can you touch the red light?
So you said you can see spirits yourself without.
So in 2017, when I started, I found that I do have the ability, like the gift, of sort of such, but it's not on a high level with other people. But I have, seen, heard, and I've noticed that they like to use me, but then they obviously speak into my head, so I hear them in my inside voice. So when names and stuff come through, I'll go with it. And then, there's been times where I've got pictures and they show us different things, what they want to do, or if they're happy or sad, and then I do get the feelings. Um, I can always walk into a place and always sense whether there is something there or not. Um, it's got stronger over the years. I have talked to a few people about saying I want to fully see them like all the time and speak to them all the time, and people said we don't really want that because you get the horrible ones, and I was like, yeah, but you also get the nice ones. That's what I mean. I'm willing to prepare myself to do that, because it gets to a stage where I could physically have a conversation with a ghost that someone's only got some information, but I could get the full information. They'd be like, oh, this is John Smith, 1887. He died from a headshot. But people were saying he got stabbed. Well, he didn't. He got shot. You know what I mean? So that's the level I want to get to. Probably will get there one day, but we'll see.
I was just curious as to if you do actually see them, how do they present themselves to you? What do you see the energy that they leave behind, or do you see a physical form? Is it more like a mist? I'm just curious to know what you see.
So for me, it's like I've seen shadows, like you said, mist.
Right.
I've also seen actual, like I was talking to you now. I've physically seen them, had a conversation, and then to realise that was an actual ghost. Because
Okay.
when you look back and they're like completely disappeared, there's nowhere they could have gone really quick. And I'm like, okay, that. You know what I mean? So
Nobody's that fast.
yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Did something happen that give you that ability, or you think you've had it your whole life?
I think it was a born gift, and I just not really noticed it until I physically come into the paranormal. Because for me to come into the paranormal and it show itself just like that, that I've the weird thing is I've done readings for people just out the blue, and I've got stuff that I've not known about them, and they're like, wow, and I'm like, that proves that I've got an ability there. So that's where I think it's a born, because it just come out of the blue. You know what I mean? Like as a start, the paranormal, it comes out with me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Awesome. All right. What piece of equipment do you believe should not be used in the field?
That's a tough one. You're asking someone that So REM pods, I think equipment that can easily be affected by electrical waves. Like a microwave turning on, it's like 2-3 doors, because it's each their own, and I'm not knocking anyone for using them, but I do believe that there's a high chance of electrical waves interfering for people to think it's a spirit when it's not. Like to truly test it would be to ask a question and it interact at the same time. But for me, I think you would have to ask at least 5-6 questions straight after each other for it to go off each time, for it to be a paranormal, rather than like say an electrical wave through the air. So
Makes sense.
them sort of equipments, hum and ha, it's one of them that you really have to test it. So that's why I don't use them, because it's the fact that what you may think is someone there, it could not be. You know what I mean? Like I said, it could be just like 3 doors down the line, someone's put a microwave on, and it pushes out. That's what I mean. It pushes out wherever you are. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement with that. I mean, there's got to be a like a baseline on how you investigate, because you know,
It's not
you've
me.
seen it. There's videos where it's like people just do certain things and they know there's going to be answers of some kind and they just spin it in their own way, you know.
Yeah, it's not me knocking. It's just me being the truth. Like you need to really, when you do come into the paranormal, you physically need to divulge into every aspect, every corner. You know, because you can't just jump into it and think you know everything. Well, you don't. Like yourselves would understand. Every time, each year, you learn everything new about the paranormal. You can still learn something till the end of your time. So it's that aspect of physically knowing every corner of the paranormal, every equipment, how it works properly, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a growing experience. Like, grow the more you do it.
Yeah.
And the more you don't get scared of it too.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Even though there may still be times where you're like,
Yeah.
holy shit. A lot of times for me now it's, holy shit, what did we just capture, instead of a, you know, like a scared kind of moment. But there is times where you're like, should I do this? Oof, I don't know.
I feel like the longer I'm in a place, the more comfortable I get. And that's when things really start happening.
I agree.
The longer you're there, when you get comfortable, I think they get comfortable with you too. So
I think you start to notice more too, because you're like, you kind of learn the ins and outs of the place and the little quirks it has. And then when there's certain things that happen, you're like, okay,
different.
something's happening.
So, out of all the places that you've been, Daryl, is there a favorite location that you'd like to maybe go back to and go a little further with?
Um, so one of the places that I've been to so far is Antwerp Mansion in the UK, which had activity. It's probably one of the many places that I've been to, turned around in the building, gone to walk away for something to run at me and make me so confused I didn't even know what I'm doing. It, it's an interesting place, I can tell you that. Like if you're ever in the UK, go to Antwerp Mansion, because even you with yourselves would be like, what the hell?
I would love to go to UK. It's so
Me
old, so
too.
much history. It's just amazing.
Yes.
Mm.
Now, when you said you had that feeling of confusion, it was like almost like I don't know how to explain it. Not like a whirlwind, but just a something around you,
Yeah,
and you
confusion.
just
Like what the
feel
hell?
dazed, confused.
Yeah,
Like, what
it
was I
wasn't
doing?
scary. It was just, yeah, what the hell was that? And where, like, what the, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a weird experience. Like, you have to definitely, like, stop in your tracks and just, like, focus and, like, okay, that actually happens. Like,
That's crazy. What did you have to do after that? Did you have to do some kind of reset, or was you done for the night?
no, I literally just stopped. We're like, whoa, calm down, guys. Like, literally, I'm here all night. I'll talk to you. Like, I was like that. I was like, and then all of a sudden, I feel like they listened and then walked away and let me do what I needed to do, which I just walked away, went into another room and just said what happened. People were like, oh, wow. That's like, you know what I mean? And I was just like, yeah, just, but throughout the night that I was just like communicating in my own way and stuff like that.
That's what we call it, otherworldly experience.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it said Antwerp. Now, years ago, did you? I want to say this was you, but did you go to the Ancient Ram Inn?
Mm.
Okay, I think that's what stuck out in my mind. So, did you enjoy that place, or how was it for you?
I enjoyed it thoroughly. A lot of activity. But the weird one was it's like we had to keep checking just to make sure no one had broken in because I kept hearing footsteps and walking around, and it was getting to a point where we we're getting annoyed because it was and we had to stop and have a chat with each other and say, look, we can't keep going downstairs seeing if someone broke in because it's more likely to be paranormal. You know what I mean? So like it was like we hear it, we accept it, we acknowledge them, you know, and interact. But it's just like we couldn't keep going down just to make sure because we was like we're in our head of like no one can come in because there's a gate that was locked. Then you had to go for the front door into the building, so there was no way. If someone was to climb over the fence, you'd hear it. So it was one of them that we should have known. It wasn't anyone breaking in. It was paranormal.
I heard that place was highly active, and that's definitely sounds like one of the stories that usually happens there. Is just constant moving around in different parts of the building too.
The bed in the attic is that if you was to lay down on it, it sends you to sleep and then goes into like a different mode in yourself. I didn't lay on it because I didn't want to chance it that I'd go to sleep and something weird happens. So I was just like, oh. Everyone else was like, oh, I might try. I said, you can try it, but if you can't get you out, we're leaving you here.
Hate
Dueling-
to have to leave you, but gotta go.
Hold on, I gotta
Been there, done that myself.
write that down real quick. Make Danny sleep in the
Yeah,
bed
right.
at Ancient Ram Inn. Okay.
So is that where they like? Did they have like questioning that it was an incubus or a succubus that
that
resides there?
Yeah, that's the place where they said about them. Yeah, yeah. I know it sounds weird, like an incubus and succubus, but it's just like a lot of people be like, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind, but it's like, would you really? Because
No,
Right.
no.
you know, yeah,
Nobody
they
wants
say
to.
about what happens, but it's the
Yeah.
fact that yeah, it could happen, but then they could do something else to you, and you'd be screwed, wouldn't you? So
I did not consent. I did not consent.
Right, exactly. And it's not what I mean, you can't fight it off. Like
no,
I'll do that, but I
not
won't do
cool.
that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm not real happy about whatever it was that grabbed a hold of me that night up there in West Virginia. So I agree.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to know,
Yeah, right.
have you explored anywhere here in the United States?
No, not yet, but I'm adamant to come to you guys next year, 100%, because there's a few places I want to go to.
Yes. What are the
So,
places you're interested in?
so is it Queen Mary?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one place I want to go first, just to see what it's all about. Because obviously you see it on TV and everyone says this happened and that happened. It's just like, well,
Yeah.
go there yourself, see what's actually happens. But that'd be the first place I want to go. And then there's the what's the San Francisco prison?
Alcatraz.
Yeah, that's it. I'd love to do that place if
Alcatraz.
you do it. And yeah, yeah. Imagine that
Awesome.
going to Alcatraz and getting trapped in and you can't get out.
Well, I'm curious when you do that, I'd like to know how you think it differs from England because I just have a feeling that the culture is so deep in England because, our state is so much younger than England. And I just wonder if, the ghosts are different. You know what I mean? Like the
That's
hauntings. If that's why you see more or you know what I mean?
yeah. It's a true. That is a true fact. That is good to know is that are the ghosts slightly different? But then, it being a different country, you'd think that they would, obviously, because the language, like the American English, is different to our English, isn't it? Because you've got,
Yeah.
Yes.
but in how they act and do stuff, I don't know. I think just the different country styles, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird to explain, but yeah, I think they'll act the same, but just be different accents and yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like UK would be more polite.
Yeah,
Maybe.
More proper and polite.
depending on where you go over here on
I was
our
gonna
side
say.
in the South, they'll be like, Daryl, I'm behind you.
I'd say squeal like a pig, but
You never know what you're going to get over here.
No, but definitely 100%. I will go to America for a good try to do a good month, different places. And
You'll be
see.
there's
busy.
lots of cool places.
Maybe
Yeah.
Winchester Mansion.
I'd love to do that, but it's
Mhm.
just one of them that I proper have to plan it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
North Carolina's pretty old. It's where kind of everybody landed.
yeah, I'd like to do. I know one of the things I'd like to do is the old mafia, not the old hauntings where they were, and just to see what it was like, and see if you could get an actual good understanding of a true understanding from one of the old mafia like bosses, or it'd be good.
Oh yeah.
A lot of deep history.
Yeah.
What do you think are the current issues and issues, trends, or challenges in this field? Like, what do you think are the current ones that maybe affect the paranormal? We kind of ask it open ended because we want to see if someone's going to be more positive
You want the
or
polite
more
answer,
negative
or
about
do you
it.
want the real answer?
The real answer.
The real answer.
The tr-
I think
we talk truthism.
so. It's obviously bullying. There's a lot of bullying. There's a lot of people
Yeah.
that don't have a true understanding and have fights and they fall out, and then they spread stuff about people, and it's just like it's not needed. Like I've 8 years, I've had it, and it's shocking. So I think last year when I moved to a place called Wincham Hall Hotel, it's probably the only time I started to, not have the drama or not have the issues with people. Because it was just too much. Just I had to step away from people or teams because of the drama, and I just found it that what is the issue? Everyone's going in the same road, doing the same thing. Like I said it in a interview, like I think it was either last year or the year before. I said, if you help each other, you'll find you will go far. And I believe it's true. If we was to help each other out in any information that we wanted to know or places, we'd be all right. But it's just the drama. There's the main issue is the drama, and I just don't understand why there is. And it's just like, yeah, bogs me to the absolute. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree.
Well, you know me. You ain't got to preach it to me, brother. Me and you been in it since ever since we known each other, and there was always drama somewhere around the corner. And me and you, it seemed like, I mean, obviously there's a couple other people, but me and you, that's why we was doing a lot of them cryptic trading post stuff, because it was like there was no drama there. Like we were there
Yeah.
to talk news, have fun. We did all kinds of crazy stuff on there. So I know exactly what you're talking about, because
Yeah.
that's the whole reason why I got away from, I got into the communities to more of outreach, because we were a brand new team getting out there. And then to a certain point, it was like, all right, this isn't helping us. It's hurting us more than it is, anything else. So that's why I stepped away from there and started focusing more on the team and doing more local stuff. So I'm there with you.
Yep.
It's a good answer. I think we're at the 30-minute mark, so we should switch over to Would You Rather? Dang, I didn't think he's going to get away that easy now, huh, Daryl?
Nah, I didn't know.
And we got 3 questions for you because you're solo, so yeah. I'm going to let y'all pick one, Roxanne, and y'all just
All right. I'll just
rapid fire whichever one you want to do.
Would you rather have a cursed mirror that shows you the spirit world or a journal that predicts your future, but only through cryptic and creepy messages? Who come up with these questions?
I think I'll pick the first one.
The mirror.
The mirror.
Yes.
So you would rather have a mirror that, I guess that would help you in investigations, right? A mirror that shows you the spirit world versus being able to predict the future. You want to be left in the unknown on that.
Yes.
I have to agree with that.
Me too.
Gotta make people think,
It'd be quite boring, wouldn't it? To look into the future, but like, oh, we've done it now. One
Well,
next.
well, shit, how long do I gotta wait on that to happen?
Yeah.
So, would you rather be stuck in a haunted mansion where the spirits try to communicate with you every night, or be lost in a forest known for cryptid sightings and every night you hear something stalking you?
First one.
Trapped in
You know,
Without a doubt.
Well, if you think about it, the second one, you'd be like hearing the noise, like you'd be like, "What do you want? What do you want?" Then no reply. But at least the first one, you get reply back.
True.
This is true.
But the first one, it says you're stuck. I mean, you could be stuck in there for eternity.
In a forest, you could lose yourself to not be able to get out. So the first one, definitely all day long. You know what I mean?
At least, the first one, you kind of know they're trying to talk to you. So hopefully it's in a positive manner. The first one's kind of creepy and they're stalking you all the time. So you're like,
Always looking.
Well, you think about it. The first one, you'll be able to have a kitchen, you'll be able to have a bed to sleep in.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, don't ever go camping with her.
Oh, here we go again.
why's that, Danny?
Because it's cold.
He's drinking his tea.
Because we went camping one time and somebody, not going to say any names or point any fingers, froze all night and it wasn't even 55 degrees. And the
That's
next
cold.
morning, as I'm breaking out breakfast, getting ready to start cooking, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. I said, don't ever say the word camping around me again, or you'll be in a tent in the backyard.
What if I said
Hang out by the
glamping?
creek.
Glamping.
Yeah, I can do the glamping.
Yeah. I've been camping plenty of times. We've camped in a tent before, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no problem then. Here we go.
Not when it's 35 degrees.
Here we go.
Of course, I've never been colder than we were at Sweet Springs, so
I don't even want to hear about that.
that was
Mm-mm.
that was to the bone.
I was just saying,
Yeah,
are we
but-
allowed to vape? And you're vaping.
Huh?
I was just saying, are we allowed to vape?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
We're allowed to do
This is-
anything on our channel.
This is our show. Shit.
We never.
Yes.
And I know you did. So I was like, why? I'm waiting on it. Oh, God. Yeah, my hands
Not
were
normal
freezing at Sweet
tea in the
Springs.
cup.
My dog's allowed. We can vape.
Not normal tea, yeah. Yeah, this ain't tea.
I know.
So I feel like this is an easy one too. These were all easy, I think. We should have been harder on Daryl. Maybe next time. Would you rather hear a ghost say your full name clearly over a spirit box, or have your name written in blood on the wall with no camera equipment and no one else around to witness it?
First one.
He doesn't need a spirit box.
But the second one would be more validated, you know?
Yeah, but then no one's there to witness it. It's just you.
Yeah.
It brings
No
Then you
camera,
just-
no nothing.
Then you tell us the story, Daryl. What happened
Like
to
the
you?
fish. It's like the fish that got away. You know, it was this big.
Oh, blood was written on the wall with your name?
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
No, I believe you.
Like,
I believe you.
Tell us. Well, here it is. Oh, it's not here anymore.
Did that happen for real?
money.
Well, for me,
Stop!
Oh,
I thought he
I
was
wish.
serious.
He was referencing the "Would you rather."
Oh.
Yeah.
I have woken up with blood in my throat before, so
Yeah, Danny would have been the one to be able to do that. The spirit is telling me their name is Jimmy.
Jimmy. Who's Jimmy? Jimmy.
Who's Jimmy?
Oh, all right. Again, that was too easy, but that was a round of Would You Rather.
That was easy.
Just to
That
break
was
up.
easy.
That was fun.
God.
So in the UK, do y'all have a lot of ghost shows? That
Just trying to think. What shows do we have?
popular that are out there?
Well, you get cheesy ones.
Yes,
We get like I think you've got
Leslie.
in the US, but originally in the UK it started out as My House is Haunted, and
yeah, we've seen that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
but it's cheesy. I think it's cheesy.
It is. I hate.
That's
when
all we
that-
need to hear.
I'm like, get some bread and butter, and I'm making a sandwich because it's too cheesy, mate. You know what I mean?
Kate's taking notes.
Yeah.
That's all I need to hear.
Cheesy.
But yeah, we don't.
Do y'all have
Right.
ghost adventures out there?
They don't fly.
They don't fly. I didn't know if those shows were out there or not. Talk about cheesy.
I mean, I think there's quite a bit of shows over there in the UK. It's just as Americans here, you know, we don't get as what's the word? It's not as advertised as much here, and we have to go looking for it to actually be able to watch it.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
All right.
you know, because everyone's so stuck on like Discovery and Netflix and stuff like that. So yeah,
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm curious that if it's different in England because the culture is so much different. It seems like when you watch TV and people are talking to paranormal investigators or they're out on the streets talking about it, most people aren't shy to talk about it. Here in the States, people are shy. You don't
Yeah.
really meet a lot of people that want to talk about spirits.
I think years ago it used to really be like that. I think it's starting to open up a little bit more.
It is starting to
now
open
with the
more.
whole like CERN thing coming out, and stuff like that. But there is still definitely pockets of civilization here that
So
they're like, shh, do not talk about that. That's
Mm-mm.
you're going
Yeah.
you're going to hell. You're going to hell.
Yeah. It's more of like a religious based thing.
Yeah.
But they believe it. Okay, no.
I don't know. I think in the UK, the reason why people believe it more and will talk about it more because it's obviously we're a small island, so everything's compact. So, you know, hauntings are so close to each other and stuff like that. Where America, it's so spaced out, and you
I'm
don't
generally
think
new.
about it until you go into that like county or something like that. That's why I think in America it's more like if you say, "Oh, do you believe in such and such?" I'm like, "I don't know, don't know," you know.
It's taboo here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think it's necessarily the UK side of it here. I mean, when Nick Groff did his series, I think it was with
Katrina, wasn't it?
Katrina. Yes, they had went over there and done it. I watched all of them just
That
like I
was
did the
really
other
good.
ones.
Yeah.
And
the
those
ones
were
Jack.
really good episodes.
Mhm.
I mean, they had some really good evidence in those, you know, and Nick's just one of those people where I'm like, I don't really think he fakes it. You know what I'm saying? He does a lot of genuine stuff. So when he got all that, there was times on those episodes where I was blown away. I was like, holy shit. It'd be awesome to investigate places like that, you know, where they're getting
Yeah.
so much activity or where it's clear, you know. But yeah.
Well, maybe we could take a boat trip.
A boat trip.
You can't take a boat. You might hit an iceberg.
We got some M82s to bring with us too, right? Self-defense.
You guys do have airports in England, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Danny.
Quicker.
That's the
Thank you,
funny
Danny.
thing. It's like,
The only time I
remember-
fly.
but the funny thing is that I was talking to an American before, and they said, "Do you have this and do you have that?" And I'm like,
We are a modern country, yes.
Do you have it? on
Indubitably.
"Mary Poppins and all that."
Mary Poppins, I love her.
Oh, have you got the umbrella, Mary Poppins?
Is that how you get around with the umbrella?
Some have some more.
See, this is the thing. I don't take offense. I find it really funny where
Exactly.
people are like, "Oh, we take the mick out." Have a
Oh,
laugh.
I'm sure you have a lot more on us, buddy.
Yeah, you hear Southern
Absolutely.
talk, it's bad.
It's like, I could do the American accent, but I choose not to because some people find it offensive, and I'm thinking,
You should do it.
We're
We
straight
know you
filth.
sound terrible.
Yeah, we need since you can't do it anywhere else, you have to be able to do it on our show.
Well, you want me to do an
Yes.
American accent?
Yes.
Let's get it out there.
Throw it out there.
Say a region in America that you roughly want me to do.
South.
Southern.
South.
Us.
Us.
Sarah, you want to do me? I can't understand a word you're saying. Like, I want to get some chicken and beans.
You
I
going
ain't
some
got
chicken
no
and
problems
beans?
there.
Oh my God.
That was good.
Bless your heart.
Bless his heart.
What about my heart? Bless my little heart. Ain't got no heart. See what I'm facing today.
Perfect.
Let him come investigate with us and just let him do that voice the entire night and then see if anyone can pick up on it.
Yeah, for the end, be like, well, mate, I'm from the UK.
Right at the end. Oh
Like,
God.
Yeah, I'm not American. I'm an English boy.
She hadn't had y'all food the whole time.
Well, shit.
That's good.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh my God.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna skip a little bit because I know he's talked about some over here, but if you could investigate anywhere that you haven't investigated yet, where would it be?
In the UK or anywhere in the world.
Anywhere. This is like
Anywhere
your
in the
top.
Um,
And if you've already said it before, then we'll get another one from you. But
obviously, I haven't done America yet. Love to do America. So, yeah, because the UK's, good to do, but it's the UK. It's like where you see it so many times and people do it so many times, it gets boring. Where, I have seen a lot of places in America, but the thing is, it's different. So, it'd be good to see what it's like in America, for the haunteds and that. And it'd be good.
because it's more of like an unknown territory to you as well.
Yeah.
It gives
Well,
that
it's like-
factor to it.
It's like, as well as like Europe and like Iceland and Norway, Love to do them. I probably will. It was a different country, different how they do things, and our spirits would be different as well. So but America next year, then probably do other places after that, just to see the difference of the paranormal world.
Is there a particular place in America you'd like to do?
Um,
Maybe besides the ones you listed
Right.
earlier.
I don't know, because obviously doing the 8 years, and getting to know a lot of Americans in the paranormal, I think just visit as many people as I can that I know, and do stuff with them. But I don't have a particular like I must go.
Yeah, like
Um,
you don't have a calling to go somewhere.
no, but the places, yes, but it's just the areas, not really.
Right.
I mean, I think for me, it would be the fact that meeting up with my American friends, you know, spending time with them, see how they do things, and just sightsee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and if your friends live in different states, there's so many different places to go.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
lot of rich culture here too.
yeah. Because I've noticed a lot of people say, "Oh, America's America." It's like, no, it's not. It's like the UK. Not
Yeah.
anywhere you go in like America, it's different ways of life. You
Mhm.
know, what a New Yorker could do is different, way different to North Carolina or Chicago.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
completely different to where you go. So that's why I want to go to America, because it's just so different.
Well, if you're on the East Coast and the South, we'll have to hook up.
I'm sure. I'm sure something, you never know. I might spend a whole year in America. I'm like, well, I've done it now.
There you go.
That would be cool.
It would. It would.
Yeah.
Hopefully, one day I could do that.
All right. What else we got?
What else we got?
We're coming down to the wire.
If there was one thing that you would like to have happen on an investigation, what would it be? What would be your number one thing to say? Okay, I've seen it done. It's happened.
I don't know. I know it sounds weird, but
Class A EVP, personal experience with
That'd be cool.
seeing
so
something, catching it on
well,
film.
I've experienced the majority of it. The only thing I haven't been experienced is being chucked across the room.
Well,
Like
that's still
if I was going to a place and physically get thrown, then I could be like, wow, like what did
Can
I
we
do?
just
that
can
would
we
not
just
have
try
been
to
the
have them, push
choice,
you? Or,
but okay.
But yeah, I would say I've experienced near enough everything that like you see, you hear, you've been touched, you've been attacked, but I've never been thrown. So like, going to the place like, I know I don't want to be attacked like severely, but could you just throw me the one so I got that experience?
There's been quite a bit of stories like that, but
yeah.
if I've ever seen it, no,
No.
not truly.
Just a short hip toss across the room. That'll suffice.
But
Right? Just a little toss. Like, don't toss me far. Just a little.
Yeah, but these are the ghosts you're speaking to. They'll be like, not just a little bit. Woo! You go flying.
All right, you asked for it. Here we go. What do you want?
well, Daryl, what motivates you to continue working in this field? What keeps you going?
The getting to the truly hearing the spirits' stories, to physically understand them, to know hopefully what it could be like on the other side. Um, just to talk to them, you know. I know it sounds weird to some people, but obviously in the paranormal world it makes sense. But talking to someone that used to be alive that isn't anymore, for me, is comforting. And that's what I want to do. And I don't think a lot of people in the paranormal industry understand that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That I think the majority of them just do it for entertainment purposes only. You know, where a lot, there is a lot of people like yourselves that are doing it for the true meaning of it. You know, it's just like one day going into a building, sitting down and physically having a good conversation with spirit, and walking away and going, I actually had a conversation with someone that used to be alive that isn't anymore. I understand them.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
So the way I took that, so you're more emotionally invested
Yeah.
in the field. Like you want to, of course, get the evidence and be able to showcase that, but you're also there to have like you said, an actual conversation, and in turn, maybe it helps the other side, or maybe we get a return out of that. Who knows? But
Yeah.
I hear what you're coming from. It's more, you're more emotionally invested in it than other teams.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's different.
Yeah, that is different. I like it.
You're an empath. You feel them. That's why they show themselves to you.
Yeah. It's just my full potential isn't there yet, but I want it to have a good conversation. Like when I have seen spirits and I'm thinking they're alive when they're not, having a conversation with them, talking, is amazing, because it's the fact that walking away to realizing that was someone dead.
Yeah.
You think to yourself, I just actually had a conversation with that person that's not alive. I mean, it's crazy. It's mind-boggling. Like the times that I've had them experiences, it's taken me a good hour, 2 hours to come back to reality to understand this happened. I mean, but to get that on a regular basis would be amazing. You know what I mean? Going to a place here or go to a place there and just do that. You know what I mean? I think we would have 100% understanding of truly is in the paranormal world.
Have you ever had an intense or very scary moment?
I've had a few. So on one occasion, I went to a place. I forgot what the place is called. Reculver Towers, and some children. If I remember rightly, children were buried there, but they were murdered there. Um, and they found me to be a safe spot, but there was a man that was dark that was trying to get to them while they were like hugging onto my leg for like sheer life. The energy there was just weird. You could sense the scaredness of the children's spirits, and then the dark of the man spirit that was trying to get there. And especially seeing a shadow as well, like just there, scary, because you like standing there trying to communicate with them, but then you don't know what to do. Like, where do you go? Because you can't physically pick the children up and just run.
Wow.
It's hard.
Feel helpless.
Yeah, and it's it was that situation there was weird, because I felt sad. I wanted to just grab them and run off, but I couldn't, because they're not alive. I can't touch them. To grab them to like take them to safety. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ooh.
Did you say what location that was, or are you able to disclose that?
Reculver Towers, which is in Kent, in the UK.
Okay.
So,
You said
but
towers.
yeah, Reculver Towers. So it used to be an old Roman church
Wow.
Ugh.
physically on the coast. So that's an interesting place. But it's not one that no one like. You say to recover tales, like for me, because I know it very well, but you say it to anyone in the UK, they're like, never heard of it. It's a place that if you physically come across it, investigate, go at night, and spend a lot of time there. So it's an interesting place.
Wow.
That's deep, man.
Hmm.
All right.
And they're trapped
Well,
there forever. Oh.
yeah. The floor is open for any questions that may come through. We're always trying to be live on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. We are live on TikTok. So I don't think we're, we try to do this show every 2 weeks. So it's not continuously enough. It's like not good enough for TikTok, right? Because you got to be going live like every other day almost. But we still do it. We still throw it out there. Maybe we'll get some new people that come through. So if there's any questions, don't be afraid to ask. We got a couple more minutes. So
Yep, just a few more.
y'all got any other questions you got for Daryl? He's not so mysterious now anymore, right?
No, I could talk to you for hours. This is awesome.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
I do have
Yeah,
one
I'm so
question.
interested.
Do you find it as difficult as we do here to get into certain places in the UK so that you can investigate?
So for me, obviously, I go to paid events. Like the same as you, there is some places that are stupid prices, and you think,
Right.
why? But I could do abandoned, but I chose not to because I did it once and had to fling myself out of a window that was obviously good thing it was on the ground floor. But I told myself I'd never do abandoned again. But I just paid events now.
Okay.
Ooh, he was a daredevil back in the day.
So,
Well,
not to try to bring up any bad memories, but were you running from someone or something?
so
Had to go
I
out.
was in the abandoned. I can't remember what it was, but I was in this building alone, and then heard some kids come in, like teenagers. There must have been about 6 or 7 of them, but the way they were coming into the building, they were a trashing place, and they obviously had sticks and stuff like that. So I thought, I don't really fancy,
Right,
So,
right.
look, kids, you can't be here. Can you leave? For them to turn around and said, I've got a stick. Would you like me to put it somewhere? I thought, out the window, you first.
Yeah.
Well, good thing I knew it was a round window, but yeah, and I thought, nah, never again.
So would you rather?
Would you rather jump out the window?
Or find out where the stick goes.
Dear Lord.
12 people.
I think I'm gonna go out the window.
I'll take
Good
hell no
choice.
for 400.
Right? Hell no.
I think if it was on the first, second, or third floor, I'd reconsider jumping out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd still find a safe place.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You never know what you'll run into with abandoned places.
No.
Especially animals.
I seen that lion walk across
Right?
your couch.
We got
She
a
always
question
makes
for, I believe, us from Leslie. Do y'all still do live investigations? At the moment, no, but we are going to be bringing those back. We want to bring those back because we, especially for Facebook, because we did have such a following through it, but we also want to kind of like possibly in the future multi-stream where we're doing Facebook, YouTube and TikTok all at the
TikTok.
same time, or of some variation. Maybe we do 2 at one time and then TikTok later on. However, it's going to work, but we will be bringing those back. So, yeah, Daryl, what do you have planned in the future? And do you have any events coming up that you're going to be at that you want to kind of throw out there?
So
Because obviously
for
this
me,
video is going to get shared out, so people are going to find out, you know.
I think just go to more places. Plan to go to America next year. Events like Paracons, if any come up, try to do, guest speaking and stuff like that. And just generally, just be a nice guy.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
You are welcome to our family anytime. And if you ever find yourself in the North Carolina area, don't be afraid to hit me up and
Probably come
see
to
if
you
we can get
first,
something
you know what I
going.
mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, Cody, I'm coming to the US. Make my bed up, please.
Make me some of that there barbecue beans and some sweet tea.
Yes.
Rightio, Daryl. We'll meet you over there.
Cheerio.
Oh my Lord, what has this show come to?
Yeah, you got to be able to laugh.
That's right. We're real professionals here.
We know what we're doing.
A little bit. Eh?
A little bit. Come on. A little bit more than that. Come on. Like that much.
Cut some slack. Awesome. Well, I think that
You're
about does it.
midnight your time, aren't you? Daryl, are you? Is it like midnight at your time?
10 past midnight. Yeah.
Okay.
10 past. Daryl, if you could sport some links out for you, because it's, you got this new rebranding. People got to be able to find you, right? So could you give us some links, where to go, what you got out there?
So obviously, I've got my normal Facebook, it's Daryl Evans, but it's my paranormal page as well. I've got Insta, I've got TikTok, I've got YouTube. Any other socials I can't remember think of.
Now, are they all the same? I know the YouTube's right here, D.P.I. I think it's 17. You go to that and it'll pull you up. Is the TikTok and all that the same?
TikTok's, yeah, and the Insta's all the same, D.P.I.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Radio. Right?
All right.
I think the two have the same meaning, but just different, different things. Awesome. All right, man. Well, we'll meet you in the back, and yeah, y'all stay spooky out there. Don't be going in abandoned buildings, jumping out the first floor window. Probably gonna get hurt. Take it from this guy. Take it from that guy. That guy.
That guy.
That guy. All right, Daryl, it's fun having you on, man. We will obviously do this again. And are you doing a podcast at all?
I will be starting up a podcast at some stage.
Or we're available. Just saying.
You're definitely one of the guests to come on.
Get us on there. We'll be there. Awesome.
Thank
right.
you for being a guest with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
I had to bring you back on, man. I had to see how you's doing and catching up with you. And sounds like you're doing some good work. So
Cheers.
Definitely keep it up. All right, y'all.
All right.
We all have a wonderful afternoon, evening, night, late night, wherever you're at. And we'll catch you on the next episode. 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now. Actually, I forgot. We are going to be featured on, oh God, I got to remember the name of it. It's on Terry's show. It's like NSPST. Too many acronyms for me. But we will be featured on there. I butchered it. I'm sorry.
Nice.
Next week. So obviously that'll probably be shared over to our page. So when it goes live, it'll be there. We'll probably give more information on that throughout the week. Next week. And then the week after that, we'll be back on here.
Yep.
With our next guest. So you don't want to miss it. All right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.